Some more completely innocent people have just been stabbed to death on London Bridge by some small-brained immigrants from Pakistan and Bangladesh. People brainwashed by the thug, violent ideology of Islam. Of course, the Muslim mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, apologist for the backward ideology of Islam, has just been on TV, once again saying diversity is our strength. That expression is never explained. How importing people that commit terrorist attacks and just stab innocent people in the middle of the day, how is that our strength? What does this mean? Whenever extreme leftists, which is just leftists now, on the news in the UK and the US, in most of the West, they say an empty statement like diversity is our strength. That's such a broad statement. What does it actually mean? It doesn't mean anything. When they use these ridiculous statements, they should be questioned. Can you tell me specifically how important people that stab innocent members of the public, how that is our strength? How could that possibly be our strength? Nobody is saying here that we want a monoracial society. People are saying, well, why don't you stop importing millions of people from countries with a toxic ideology who want to commit murder in the name of that toxic ideology? Can we have an honest discussion about this, please? Just how the fuck did Sadiq Khan get elected? An apologist for an ideology that wants to kill everyone in the West. This is no exaggeration. I think a lot of confused people must have voted for him. Because he's Labour, some people would have voted for him because he's Labour, because a lot of people just vote for their own party without thinking about it. How many terrorist attacks there have to be? And these guys had already been convicted, or one of these guys had already been convicted before for terrorist offences. I think he stabbed someone a few years ago. He went to jail. He got out of jail and just committed another terrorist attack. He's an immigrant. Why wasn't he deported? Number one. Number two, why was he ever released back into the population? If there aren't laws to deal with this, there need to be. To what benefit is it that brainwashed psychopaths like this are allowed to walk the streets? There has to be an end to Muslim immigration into the West. It has to end. Otherwise, in 50 years, people like this will be in the majority, and the civilized world will be over. We have to end Muslim immigration, and we have to convert Muslims that are already in the West to atheism. These have to be the number 1 and 2 objectives of all Western countries. Diversity is our strength. It's a meaningless, vague statement that extreme leftists hide behind. And actually what diversity means is uniformity of thought. Every time there's a terrorist attack like this, that's the first brainless statement Sadiq Khan trots out, like all the people. He's a terrorist lover. Jeremy Corbyn is a terrorist lover. They want to import millions more terrorists into the UK so they can kill the local population. That's not an exaggeration. That's precisely what they want. Corbyn loves all sorts of terrorist groups, extreme socialists, people that are responsible for millions of deaths, Hamas, Hezbollah, the genocidal, through starvation, unjust, scientifically wrong, free market hating, free market, as we know, are responsible for taking billions out of poverty. Places like Venezuela, this is loved by Corbyn and Khan. Funny, they're a bit quiet about it now. Now people have to eat rats because, as we know, hard socialism doesn't work. The entire platform of the left now is fuck whites, fuck white culture, fuck men. And how better to do that than importing millions of people that want to kill whites into the West, as we see here. Diversity is our strength. let's unpack this. Sadiq, you prick. Step by step, walk me through how bringing millions of Muslims into the UK, how does that make us stronger? Give me some examples. Give me any examples. Being innocent people getting stabbed in the streets, that's not really a strength. Completely failing to integrate into the native population isn't a strength. These are huge problems. Keeping the extremist conservative religion that they came in with for generations, that's not a strength, that's a problem. Preventing women integrating with society, even integrating society, and they integrate society even less than the men do. Many Muslim women in the UK can't speak English. This is a problem. Removing rights from those women and forcing them to walk around in a bedsheet, this is a problem. None of these are strengths. These are weaknesses. These groups are making Western societies weaker, not stronger. They're eroding the democratic foundations, Enlightenment foundations, the libertarian foundations of the West. All these things make us weaker. Can you please fucking explain to me, Sadiq, how these things make us stronger? Give us any examples. Back up that statement with any facts you can. Because I can't see any. This is bullshit. And I think people are tired of this, this moribund statement being rolled out that doesn't fucking mean anything and is just bullshit. The left is just spouting bullshit constantly now that doesn't mean anything, and people are sick of it.
This was the Deviant Developer Podcast. Tap subscribe in any podcast app to never miss an episode. To contact me or make a welcome donation, go to thedeviantdeveloper.com.